Before we start this video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Fiverr. Now, as most of you probably already know, the majority of the world is being asked to stay at home. And if you're like me, you probably want to spend your time at home doing something productive. Using myself as an example, I always want to learn new techniques on how to edit videos. Or if we're talking about Super Smash Bros, I always want to learn new techniques of how to fight with my favorite fighters. Well, believe it or not, all the things you need to learn can be found on Fiverr. Fiverr is one of the biggest commission-based websites out there. By clicking the link down below, you'll be able to learn any kind of skill you want through Fiverr. Just search whatever it is you need, and you can find your own personal coach to help you. Or if you want to take the more lazy approach, and don't want to go through the tedious work of editing your own videos, you can actually find people who are willing to edit your own videos for you on Fiverr. So whether you want to learn a new skill, or find someone to do your work for you, Fiverr is probably one of the best places you can go. I guarantee you that if you commission someone in Fiverr, they will be able to help you with it. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to click the link down below and go to Fiverr right now so you can get started. And now, on with the video.
The fighter included in Wave 6 of the paid Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC will be...
No!
Joining the battle
What?
from ARMS
Arms?
this June.
Of all things? Wait. What? I'm so confused. Yahoo!
Yo, what is up guys, it is me. Hoping you guys are having an amazing day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and welcome back to another video. Recently, out of nowhere, Nintendo released a brand new Nintendo Direct. And within that Nintendo Direct, we received brand new information on Super Smash Bros. Specifically, the first DLC fighter in the second Fighters Pass. And lo and behold, to a lot of people's surprises, including myself, Nintendo has announced that the next DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be a character from ARMS. So in this video, I want to share my personal opinions of whether or not a character of ARMS should join Smash. Especially because for the first time ever, Nintendo has given us quite the interesting situation when it comes to this franchise joining Smash. So without further ado, let's get started. So to start things off, do I personally think a character from ARMS should join Smash? My straightforward answer would be yes. But I admit I feel a little weird about the timing. What do I mean by that? Well, in all honesty, I kind of feel like if we were going to receive a character from ARMS as a fighter in Smash, I feel like it would have been best to have that fighter be in the base roster of the game. During the promotional period of Smash Bros. Ultimate, when the entire world was trying to decide what the base roster was going to be like, I genuinely thought that we were going to receive a character from ARMS within the base roster. I mean, I don't know, it just made a lot of sense to me. Though ARMS arguably isn't exactly the most relevant thing today, during the promotional period of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, ARMS was pretty popular. This unique fighting game where all of these different characters have these different springy arms in order to fight each other, I thought it was going to be the next big Splatoon-ish multiplayer IP that Nintendo would release. I mean, when you look at it, this game has a very colorful, wide variety set of characters, all of them with their own unique design. Along with very interesting gameplay mechanics, it just felt like a no-brainer for a character from this franchise to join Smash. But then I admit my beliefs of a character from ARMS joining Smash was basically diminished the moment that Springman was announced as an assist trophy instead. And this is where I feel like the situation gets a little complicated. For the first time ever that I could recall, Smash Bros. Is going to have a fighter that isn't going to be the main character of the franchise.
But Mediana, can't they just upgrade Springman from an assist trophy into being his own fully fledged fighter?
You do have an interesting point there, Internet. But if I may, that is actually one of the things that has me concerned. I genuinely don't think that any of the assist trophy characters should be upgraded to their own fighter in this game. And to explain my reason why, I'm gonna go all the way back to my Goku video.
But Nut, what are you talking about? In the Goku video, you were explaining how only video game characters should be in Smash. And all the characters in ARMS are purely video game characters.
That's right, Internet. They are all video game characters. Now, the reason I'm looking back at the Goku video isn't because I'm questioning whether or not the ARMS characters, specifically Springman, are video game characters. The reason I'm looking back is going to the point of what happens when you put a specific character with a specific situation in Smash and what floodgates will open because of it. If a non-video game character like Goku is put in Smash, that opens up the floodgates for all these different assortments of non-video game characters to join in, causing a lot of chaos in an already chaotic game. In my opinion, the same case goes to Springman, an assist trophy character, if they were upgraded to a fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Keep in mind that Sakurai himself has stated that these 6 fighters are our final 6 fighters for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't want this final Fighters Pass to suddenly transform into the Unlocking Assist Trophy Fighters Pass. Just imagine they announced Springman to be the fighter and he was upgraded from an Assist Trophy. Because then everyone in the world is going to be asking, well, we have Assist Trophy characters now being fighters, why not we make Waluigi in the game? And then we ask for Shadow the Hedgehog, and then we ask for Isaac. And then basically, this entire Fighters Pass will be the Assist Trophy Fighters Pass. And I understand that some people may be excited for that, but I just feel like there was so much effort put into making these characters Assist Trophies already. And since we already know that these are going to be the final fighters of the game, shouldn't they be completely new fighters? I feel like I'd be a lot more surprised if a character like Sora, or Crash, or Spyro, heck, even Doom Guy. The bottom line is, why would they go through so much trouble to make these characters into assist trophies, only to go through even more trouble to upgrade them into fully fledged fighters? It really just doesn't make any sense to me, especially when there's a lot of new fighters out there that aren't even represented in Smash. I don't want an assist trophy character to suddenly be upgraded into a fighter in the same game that they were made an assist trophy. Isabelle and Little Max started off as assist trophies, yes, but they were upgraded into their own full-fledged fighters in later Smash Bros. Titles. And in my opinion, that's just how it should be. So if you would ask me, no, I do not believe that Springman will be the character that they use from ARMS for Smash. There's only one possible way that I can see Springman being chosen to be the fighter. And there's one character in ARMS that they could probably switch him with, where he's the fighter and they're the assist trophy. And that character is Springtron. In the world of ARMS, Springtron is basically Springman's robotic doppelganger. Think of Metal Sonic for Sonic, but with Springman. Now, if you were to go and tell me that they did that, okay, I think I'd be a bit more okay with Springman being the fighter. But if that's not the case, then I say keep Springman as the assist trophy. So then, if Springman isn't going to be the fighter from ARMS, who will it be? Well, since we're already talking about Springtron, I also don't think that Springtron will be the sole character that they choose to be the fighter. It may have one or two differences, but it's literally his robotic doppelganger. And if they're going to put in a character to represent ARMS that isn't Springman, it should at least be someone who is as popular as Springman. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think Springman's copy is as popular as Springman. A character who is as popular or as iconic as Springman is Ribbon Girl. And in my opinion, Ribbon Girl seems to be the most likely candidate simply due to the fact that she's arguably the titular character of ARMS right next to Springman. Like, if you're going to think of ARMS, you're going to think of Springman and Ribbon Girl. With that being the case, I know that there are other characters in ARMS that people are much bigger fans of than both Springman and Ribbon Girl. Characters like Ninjara, Min Min, Twintel, those are all characters who are very popular and beloved within the fanbase. So if they were to be put in Smash, I could see that working out. With that in mind, the characters from ARMS that I don't see having a very good chance of joining Smash are basically any other characters who are not these guys. Specifically the bigger characters is what I'm saying. No offense to anyone who's a fan of Mechanica, Master Mummy, or even Helix. I think these are all fine characters for who they are. But the problem is, I just don't think they're as iconic as any of these other fighters. Heck, I could even see Dr. Coil being a bigger character than these other guys. Mainly due to the fact that Dr. Coil seems to be the big bad, or at least is the character who's most connected to the ARMS lore. With that in mind, if they're going to choose a representative from ARMS, I don't think it's going to be the villain of the series. Not to mention the fact that Dr. Coil herself seems to be a rather new character, and I feel like it's way too soon to add a character like that, which is why I never mentioned a character like Misango. Well, that is unless they go through with a very interesting idea that's been going around the Smash community. Now, as I mentioned before, I don't think any of the bigger built characters really have a chance in being in ARMS. My main reason being that they're way too different from the other fighters. And for this idea to work, I really think that all the characters should have some form of similar body structure. So characters like Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Twintel, Min Min, even Dr. Coil all seem to have similar enough body structures where this plan could work. Now, what plan is it that I'm talking about, you may ask? Well, I'm talking about them going the Bowser Jr. route, where you take 8 different characters from ARMS that have a similar body structure and make them all costume variants of one fighter. So let's say, just like Bowser Jr., you name Ribbon Girl to be the ARMS fighter. But then, just like Bowser Jr. having all the Koopalings being his costume variants, or in this case, fighter variants, you can probably do the same thing with Ribbon Girl and other ARMS characters. So with that in mind, which characters from ARMS do I believe could be those 8 fighters? Well, obviously I've already been stating throughout this video that Ribbon Girl is an obvious choice. She's arguably the second main character of the game, so it just makes too much sense. Along with her, other fighters that I could see joining would be Ninjara, Min Min, Kid Cobra, Lollipop, Misango, Dr. Coil, and Springtron.
But Medianut, what about Twintel? You know everyone else in the world wants her character in the game. You know, for her character design.
Well, besides the fact that Smash is a game for good girls and boys, for the record, and don't worry, I'm just kidding, Twintel is a fine character who could probably make it in. The only possible thing that I could think of that's stopping Twintel from joining the game is the fact that all the other characters that I mentioned all do combat with their arms, whereas Twintel's combat mainly comes from her hair. And if the idea for the ARMS character to go the Bowser Jr. route were to work, then not only do all the other characters have to have similar body structure, but also their way of combat has to be very similar as well. So do I want Twintel to be a fighter in Smash? Yes, of course I do. She's a fan favorite character, and even the developers have shared their love for her character. But with that being said, speaking in a business term, if I myself were in charge of the development for ARMS, and how ARMS would be incorporated into Smash Bros., I admit I'd want as many characters from my games to be in Smash as possible. And if the only way to do that were to have all those characters be 8 fighter variants for one character slot, then it would make the most sense for all those characters to have as similar fighting styles and body structures as possible, meanwhile making their character designs as different as possible. That way, people who play their characters in Smash will be more interested in playing my game. So unless Sakurai hits us with some kind of surprise where maybe he's able to make something like that work for Twintel, then this is definitely the route I could see them going. All in all, if I were to decide how to work an ARMS character in Smash Bros. Right now, I feel like the idea of making Ribbon Girl the main fighter and going the Bowser Jr. route with having multiple different characters who are similar to Ribbon Girl being the game. That way we have more than one diverse fighter from ARMS taking up one character slot, meanwhile keeping Springman the assist trophy character in order to not open said floodgates that I mentioned before. I genuinely feel like this is the best way forward when it comes to adding representation from ARMS into Smash. But I'm saying this one last time, those are all just my opinions and I want to hear yours. Do you agree or disagree with my statement? In any case, I would love to hear your opinions down in the comments below. What character do you think should join Smash as a representative of ARMS and why? Thanks again to my affiliates at Fiverr. If you want to learn some new skills or you need some help with a project, make sure to click the link down below and go to Fiverr. Also, you guys have probably noticed my new look, and I want to give proper thanks to the person responsible. A special shout out goes to the ever so amazing and talented Silly Drifloon. Please, if you can, make sure to support her by checking out her Instagram. The link will be provided down below. With that in mind, I am the Media Nut and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to keep doing you, keep sharing laughs, and keep on rambling. See ya!